Hey guys, welcome back. Now, when you see what's coming up in this video, it's getting really hard not to be. Sell a kidney for Bitcoin bullish on the crypto market. The developments keep coming in thick and fast and only seem to be increasing. The time to the halving is getting closer and closer, and the FOMO is getting real. Now, in the short term, there is a big battle going on between the bulls and the bears. The bears have their high interest rates and inflation, and the money printer is still turned off. But the bulls, they still have the 15,000 Bitcoin market bottom still in place and a series of higher highs and higher lows, so the trend is still in place. And so in this video, we'll be looking at, firstly, some bull market insights. How is this bull market progressing against the previous ones? Then why the next 2 weeks are critical weeks for the crypto market and the one key level that everyone is looking at. And then we'll finish up with the biggest and best developments that have been happening all around the world. And obviously, I'm going to save the best till last. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at how this bull market is progressing against the 3 previous ones that have already gone. And so, firstly, let's take a look at how this market is progressing compared to the ones that have previously gone. And this is everything pretty much you need to know about what happens in crypto in just one chart. All centered around the halving event, which is going through the middle here. And we are now getting very close to the next halving. The one in blue was Bitcoin's birth, and this was the first big bull market, which did over a 200x. We then crashed down and went into orange, and this one went on to do a 100x, and then crashed back down. And then in green, this was the bull market that just went, and this one just tipped over a 20x, going from bottom to top. So this obviously is the crypto summers, very easy to see on this chart. We then have the autumn, if we talk about seasonality, and just when you think prices can't go any lower and people start getting depressed, we get the crypto winter, which takes it right down to the market bottom, and this is maximum pain in the crypto market. And as always, ironically, the very best time to buy when you're feeling at your worst. And now we are in, unless we end up going down and going lower than we did here, we are now in the crypto spring. And the crypto spring also has its own set of challenges, as just when you think the bull market is back, before you know it, it's crashed back down another 50%. So this is notorious for having some big runs, big moves, and then big shakeouts. And you never know which run is ultimately the next leg up, as we then hit the halving, which again we'll talk about later, but this is actually a very turbulent time as well. You'd think at the halving that everything shoots up, but in fact it doesn't. It's very common for things to be going down after the halving, which shakes out the last of the weak hands before we get the crazy runs. And nothing is guaranteed that there is going to be another crazy run. I personally think with everything going on, and as you'll see later with the developments, I think it's as close to guaranteed as we can get. And also in one of my previous videos, most recently, we talked about how if Bitcoin does this time get to a 10x, then this would give us a market top of around 150,000 for Bitcoin. So still tremendous gains in a very short space of time. But obviously the next 6 months is certainly going to be volatile. Now let's talk about why the next 2 weeks in crypto are critical weeks. As here is the seasonal performance for Bitcoin, And let me just put in the pre-halving years, as that's the year that we're going through right now. And the reason it's called Redtember is because of the last 6 years, every single time there's been a drop, sometimes quite a big crash. This was the last pre-halving year. So odds were that Bitcoin would be going down in September. However, as of the time of this recording, we are currently up about 3%. So as of right now, this trend, this 6-year record is getting broken. But we are just halfway through, which means the next 2 weeks are the critical weeks for crypto, as we'll know whether this 6 years becomes 7. So not out of the woods just yet. And in fact, there's one key price level that everyone is looking at right now. So let's take a look. So here we are at Bitcoin's price chart, and this was the bottom made back November last year. So the bottom is still intact at around $15,000 for Bitcoin. And since then, the bulls are very happy because since then we've had these big booms. We've had the higher highs and then a higher low, higher highs and then a higher low, higher high, and we really tested this higher low. It still stayed intact. We had the reversal here and then green days since. And so this is the key level right there. So let's just mark this point. This is the one that has to hold, and it sits around 24,700. So this is the key level that keeps this whole thing intact. And if this breaks below this level, the trend is broken, and then we're going to be hovering around the 20K to 25K. Okay, so that's the key level right now. So now let's finish up with the biggest developments that have happened from all around the world in just the last couple of weeks. Okay, so got 8 pieces of news for you guys, and we'll save the best till last. So the first one is great news for Solana and great news for adoption, as Visa, one of the biggest payment railways in the world, has expanded. They were just using Ethereum for USD settlement, but now they're going to be using Solana as well. And obviously Solana is one of, if not the fastest potential blockchain there is. So obviously that is the one thing that they're trying to tap into, but it's great news for Solana and crypto adoption. Number 2, and we have Colorado DMV are going to be using PayPal to facilitate crypto payments. Now, overall, this is bullish, and this is the Department of Motor Vehicles, but there's a couple of things to look at here. So the first thing is, what is this? Well, customers are going to be able to pay for driving licenses, vehicle registrations, and other services. However, the one bad thing is that there's going to be a fee of $1 plus 1.83% for the DMV to take payment in crypto. So for me, this is a bit of a slap on the hand for PayPal, as this is the traditional finance world trying to still implement big fees when paying in crypto. But the whole reason crypto is coming is to get rid of this unneeded middleman. So although this is still bullish for crypto, it's still great that the DMV is going to do this. I think it's time we say bye-bye to PayPal. Next up, and there's going to be a big accounting rule change that's going to really help corporations put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So you may have heard of FASB, which is the Financial Accounting Standards Board, and they're going to be making a rule change in 2025, and this is going from GAAP accounting to fair value accounting. So my understanding is that companies, instead of just putting the headline figure of what they bought at, if crypto then crashes, they weren't able to do anything about it. So fair value means that they can now account for the current market value. So this is better for corporations. And as Michael Saylor said, this was one accounting roadblock that stopped corporations investing. But now moving to fair value, it means the roadblock has been taken away. So this is a big green light for corporations who may want to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. Then we now fly over to Korea, and this is the largest asset manager in Korea, and they're partnering with Polygon on a huge tokenization of securities drive. And the tokenization of real world assets is a huge thing. Check this out. So tokenization involves bringing real world assets such as real estate, bonds, fine art, and equities as digital tokens on a blockchain. And the Boston Consultant Group have said that asset tokenization is likely to increase 50 times to 16 trillion by 2030. So this is a huge market that's going to be exploding. And this is great news for Polygon, who seem to be the best in the business at making partnerships, and also obviously Ethereum. Then now we fly over to Singapore, and their super app, which is called Grab, have partnered with Circle. So the Grab Web3 wallet allows users to do things like ride hailing, food delivery, and digital payments, and they use NFTs. So again, in the Far East, huge crypto adoption is going on. This is great for crypto, great for Circle, and a sign of more things to come. Then, after a slurry of Bitcoin ETFs piling up at the SEC, we now have two, but this time it's for Ethereum spot ETFs. So Bitcoin always leads the way, then we have Ethereum, and they've had filings from VanEck and ARK. So the clock has officially started, and now this time for Ethereum spot ETFs. So obviously incredibly bullish for Ethereum and all Ethereum layer 2s. And talking of Bitcoin ETFs, we have another asset manager, Franklin Templeton, joining the list of companies for another spot Bitcoin ETF. And as promised, I said I was going to save the best till last. Now check this out. And these are all the asset managers that are now lined up ready with a Bitcoin ETF ready to go. BlackRock, Fidelity, Invesco, Franklin, WisdomTree, VanEck, GlobalX, ARK Invest, Valkyrie, and Bitwise. And obviously BlackRock being the biggest with 9 trillion of assets under management. Fidelity have got almost 5 trillion. Invesco 1.5 trillion. The latest one is another 1.4 trillion. And if you add all of these together, this is now almost $17 trillion of potential money that can flow into Bitcoin. And I don't know how anyone can look at this and not start feeling intense FOMO. And I myself have never been more bullish on Bitcoin and the crypto market. And without doubt, this is going to be the biggest bull market yet. So unless the key level of 24,700 gets broken, then Bitcoin and the crypto market remain in a bull market, and 15,000 was the market bottom. So far for Redtember, it looks like the 6-year record may be broken, as Bitcoin is currently up for the month. However, we're only halfway through, so still not out of the woods just yet. And as you saw, the crypto developments going on around the world just aren't slowing down. And now we have $17 trillion of asset managers ready to offer Bitcoin to the masses. And this feels like a huge dam that is going to break at any time. And it's getting really hard not to part ways with a kidney to buy Bitcoin. However, finally, we have to remember that we're not in crypto summer just yet. The yield curve still has to uninvert, rates are still high, and there needs to be some kind of crisis for the money printer to be turned back on. So keeping control of the FOMO is also key right now. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now let me know if you're feeling the FOMO as well. Let me know below. And just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.